Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June, moving into early July 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Taurus collective, late June, early July? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus. Let's get this creepy Alice card out. Right? I call it creepy, but I love this deck. I've been really enjoying it for the past month or so, I believe. Okay. Cool. All right, yeah, this showed up for one of the other zodiac signs. Not sure if you've had this in the past, but I interpret this as one of the more positive oracle cards. Now, yes, you can look at the art style and the words. It doesn't look too thrilling. It doesn't look too happy, but all in the golden afternoon to me is like really nice. It's like a leisurely, positive card. So it could speak about optimism in a lot of different forms. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So yes, we see Alice there, and the color palette is pretty humdrum, right? It doesn't seem too happy or bright or vibrant, but the energy it makes me feel compared to some of the other cards is really nice. Now, when I view a golden afternoon, I think of lounging outside on a beautiful day, observing nature, just beautiful, crisp, clean type of energy, which is really nice. So for a portion of you, this could be spirit asking you to, like, hey, maybe see the silver lining, maybe to shift your perception to a more optimistic mindset about something. This could also represent enjoying yourself in one way or another, having leisure time for yourself, where it's like, all right, Taurus, if you enjoy doing it, then do it. If you don't enjoy doing it, maybe cut back on that. But for some of you, especially if you're one of the Tauruses that's always work, maybe spirit wants you to have a little bit of fun, right? And fun comes in all different shapes and sizes. But to me, this is a card of leisure, of happiness, optimism, and a good time. So it's always a great way to start a reading. So we're just going to put her down right there. Hopefully it's not prepping us for some curveballs. But yeah, we'll let her chill out. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Taurus, please. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Very positive reading last week. It was titled A Massive Win. Now, I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes. So some of you maybe had a couple of really good days. Maybe something went your way. Maybe something went better than expected. Whether it's work or money or business, I just felt like a lot of you have something really great coming in. And that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, especially now seeing that we have an optimistic starting card. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Taurus, late June, early July. What's the energy here, please? Let's get it going. Okay, so a very similar thing in the Virgo reading. It does not surprise me. I've been seeing it for other signs as well. We have the 6 of Cups. So whether it's a very important person, some sort of link to the past, we'll just have to see. I mean, I've been seeing it a lot for a lot of signs in recent weeks. Let's get a couple more. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that 6 of Cups has been very prevalent. Okay, we have the 7 of Wands, which to me, this is a coin flip card. It could be either really fantastic and great, or it could be a pain in the neck. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here for Taurus, please. And the elements are at odds. Elements are at odds. Okay, so we have the 5 of Wands right here on the back end. Yeah, when we couple these 2 cards together, that is not the most peaceful type of energy for one reason or another. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always break down the elements first, because that informs us how the energy is moving, how volatile it might be. And you have a lot of fire. this week, okay? Like with the Seven of Wands and the Five of Wands, and you look at the imagery of this card. Now, the good thing about fire, and the good thing that both of these two share in common, they're cards of action, they're cards of movement, they're cards of determination. We're going to make it happen. It's passion, it's drive, it's desire. But the challenge with this could be a little confrontational, right? These are both cards, and the element itself, it could be an energy that's just a little explosive, a little volatile, a little hard to predict. Now, this energy here on the front, the water, much softer, much more subtle. That's a good thing, but it's like this energy is getting outweighed by all this stuff here on the back end. It's like this is way more intense than what we have going on up here in the front. So we're going to have to see how all this plays off each other, because remember, it could be different situations. It could be all one thing. But position number one, let's build this out piece by piece. We have the Six of Cups, and we see here we have the two children. They're sharing a cup and a flower. This is a really soft, lovely type of card. Now, it's a card of soul ties, soul connections. So this could represent someone that like you have a very strong soul bond with, or someone that you may have a lot of history with, because this is my card of history. It's my card of the past. It's my card of memories. So in the positive sense, it's like, oh yeah, I've known this person forever, or I feel like I've known this person forever. You ever know when that happens, when you meet someone, it's like, damn, I feel like I've known you for 20 years. It's like giving me that kind of vibe when I see this card. It can represent the memories itself. So don't be surprised if you're taking trips down memory lane, thinking about this, thinking about that. Maybe that will inform the energy moving forward. It all really depends on how it all plays together. Now, the challenge of the Six of Cups, sometimes when it shows up in reverse, it could represent soul ties that aren't on the right or same frequency at the moment. So there could be someone you're close to where it's like, oh, we're not really seeing eye to eye. So that's something we need to watch out for. The Six of Cups can also represent rough memories, tough memories. I don't want to use words like traumatic or anything like that, but it does fit that slot sometimes in its worst case scenario. So we'll have to see what's up. And you know me, I'm an optimistic reader. I'm not always going to go worst case scenario first. We need to see what the clarifier is. But moving to the center, we have a very intriguing card in the Seven of Wands. Now, we see this individual, it's like he's standing up on the hill, obviously guarding himself and fighting off the people that are coming at him. In the positive sense, like I've already mentioned, this is a huge card of determination, where it's like, I won't quit. When I set my mind to something, I will see it through. Big Taurus energy right there. And especially, it's like, I will not back down. That's a huge thing with this card. So there could be certain situations that come up that have you putting your foot in the dirt, and it's like, you know what, I'm not budging. This is what it is. So just watch out for people pressuring you too, because that's part of the challenging side here. Again, in the positive, it's determined, it's fighting. It doesn't matter what you put in front of me, I'm going to make it happen. But in the challenge, yes, it can be confrontational. Yes, it can be volatile and explosive, all that stuff. And in the worst case scenario, the Seven of Wands could feel trapped. It could feel cornered. It could feel like my back is to the wall here. And it can represent problems, where situations that are like, oh, all right, how am I going to get through this one? So we just have to see what is up when the clarifier shows up. Again, I don't name a card a challenge until I see a lot of clues that point to it, or until my inspiration or intuition is like really jumping. Now, moving to the back end, a very, very similar energy with the Five of Wands. And I always say you don't need to be an expert in tarot to understand what this card means. We got five people, they all got sticks, they're going to battle. Now, in the positive sense, similar theme, it's a card of determination. Like, yes, I will get past this, I will get through this, nothing is going to get in my way, I will keep pushing. That's a good thing. I am not giving up on something. Really nice. But just like this other one, it can be conflict. It can be combative. This could represent someone that's either very aggressive. This could represent someone that's angry, like pretty pissed off type of energy. So hopefully no one's stepping on your toes, but there could be something that is really getting on your wrong side, especially when we stack these two together. So we need to see, watch your temper in this time, because it might flare up a little more so than normal. But again, there are positives here. Sometimes it could be joking, but I mean, with the Seven of Wands right next to it, I don't think this is a joking matter. So watch out for someone that might try to make light of something that's very serious. But I want to dive deeper on all the Taurus. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What is going on here, my guides? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Six of Cups. Let's go in on this softer energy. We'll ease into it. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, what is happening with that Six of Cups? What's going on? Thank you. Okay. All right, so we have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, and again, I just have to give that prototypical one. I mean, this is either people getting together and reminiscing, right? Page of Pentacles, that's one of your power cards. It's a card of messages. It's a card of communication. So when I see the Page and the Six of Cups, it's like, hey, let's catch up. Or, hey, we haven't spoken in a while. Hey, let me get some updates about your wife, where you're at and what you're doing. So again, whether this is you or somebody else, it's like an energy that really wants to catch up. And speak about the past. So again, it doesn't have to be you doing it. It could be someone else like, hey, do you remember when you were a kid, you did this, Taurus? And I mean, that's not a bad thing. Like reminiscing's cool sometimes, but the energy is showing up here in a heavy way. Now, for another portion of you, of course, with the Page of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, you might hear from someone you haven't heard from in a while. So it could be a return of some sort, could be a return of a situation. It's like, okay, I haven't heard from this in a while, but boom, the energy comes in. So I think it's very straightforward, very simple, by the numbers type of message here in front. We just have to see what this other stuff is, because is this energy going to dig up old things? That's something you might have to watch out for. Okay, especially things where it's like, okay, well, I've dealt with this, and it's an energy where I've come to grips with it. So yeah, there could be various things being revisited. Let's keep moving. Again, I don't feel like we need to go too in depth with that on the front end. Like Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles, simple, very simple, straightforward. Something popping back up. So, or talking about the past. But let's go in on that Seven of Wands. Let's see what that has. Okay. All right. So we do have Temperance in reverse. I will say the good thing about Temperance, even in reverse, it is spiritual protection. It is guidance. So for a lot of you, that's a very reassuring message. Like with these two together, it's like, listen, the universe, God, your ancestors, they have your back, like, which is really nice. Now, I will say this is more fire right here, because that's Sagittarius energy. When I see Temperance in reverse under the Seven of Wands, watch out for situations that are really testing your patience. Watch out for things you may have been dealing with for a while where it's like, oh, I don't have the capacity for that anymore. So again, whether it's a situation, whether it's a person, I feel your patience being more limited than it normally is. So there is a little bit of a warning here. We'll see when we get to the last section, but when I see the Seven of Wands with Temperance in reverse, it's like, you know what, screw it. I'm not biting my tongue anymore. I'm not holding back. I'm going to go for it. Now, that could be good for some of you if there's like something you've been wanting to do and you've been like holding back from it. Yeah, maybe you're just going to say, screw it, I'm going for it, or I'm going to make it happen. But I get this really strong energy of like someone having very low patience with things. Like this is a no BS, no nonsense type of energy. And I saw something for you like that a couple months ago where it's like, game over, I'm not messing around, I'm not playing around. It's like a very stern, very serious type of energy I'm picking up here in the center. Very low tolerance for BS. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah, let's see what that Five of Wands has, and we'll do a quick recap. So why is that Five of Wands here? Okay. So just as I was speaking about that reading from a few months ago or a couple months ago, the main center figure of that shows up. We have the Queen of Swords. Talk about no nonsense. In the upright underneath this Five of Wands. Now, again, if you know anything about this Queen of Swords, straightforward, to the point, no BS, going to tell it like it is. So I really think, and again, we're not just talking about people you have history with. I think in general, from my experience with Tauruses, beautiful people, great sense of humor, usually pretty chill unless you get on their wrong side. What I'm picking up here on the back end is like the opposite of that. I'm not getting chill. I'm getting like wound up. I'm not getting patient. I'm not getting ha ha happy. I'm getting very, very serious. Okay, so again, whether you're dealing with a serious situation, whether you're in this like no games, no BS, game over type of mindset, now we're mixing fire and air here on the back end, very combustible. There is an explosive energy around the collective right now. Okay, and usually I always say with Taurus, you're a fixed earth sign. You're very good at, pacing yourself, staying calm if you need to. But with the energy I'm seeing here, I think it's an explosive warning for sure. Like with all the stuff I'm seeing here, um, whether it's situations you've been dealing with for a while, whether it's something you just don't have a lot of, tolerance for it. I just feel you having a shorter fuse, or someone you're dealing with at the very least. So just know that if you're cool, if everything's fine, there could be someone that is in your orbit that is fitting this energy here, where it's like, whoa, okay. Or when someone gets really mad about something, and it's like, okay, I didn't mean it that way. It's like I feel someone getting like pissed about things, like even minor things. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, Queen of Swords, clarifying the Five of Wands is very confrontational. It's very aggressive. It's mad. It's angry too. So I think this could be cautionary. I do think you're protected. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. So not what I'm used to seeing for a Taurus reading. So again, it could most definitely be somebody else. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Six of Cups with the Page of Pentacles in the upright. Cool. This energy feels nice. There's a lot of reminiscing. Like, hey, you remember back a couple years ago when you spit milk out of your nose? It's like, giving me one of those. Like, we're reminiscing. We're having a good time. We're talking about memories. For a lot of you, there could be various things or people trying to pop back up in this time where there's an effort for communication, but I also see a very low tolerance. Like, aside from this energy, there is very low tolerance over here on the back end of the spread, because in the center we have the Seven of Wands with Temperance in reverse. So yes, very much protected by source and angels and all that beautiful energy. I love it, but at the same time, like, your patience level is going to be very low. And it could be for a lot of different things. I don't feel like it's one specific thing. I feel like in general. So you might want to get in hermit mode for the short term. Even moving here on the back end, I have the Five of Wands with the Queen of Swords. No BS, no games, no nonsense. Very straightforward. What you see is what you get. I wouldn't be surprised if people are like, are you okay? Like, even if you're not really saying anything, or are you okay, Taurus? Or again, maybe there's someone you're connected to that's acting like this, but this is an explosive warning. It's all over the place. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here for you, Taurus. What's in the shadows for my good friends? Thank you. High Priestess. Okay, very spiritual, very subtle card. So that's very bizarre to me. Usually the subtle energies like this, and High Priestess, yeah, she could be in the shadows too, but usually I get a more intense energy in the shadows, and this one feels very, very soft. Now, for a portion of you, this could represent a Pisces. I link all the water signs to this too, so like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The High Priestess is usually very intuitive. To go with all this might be a factor in some of the stuff I'm seeing on the back end of the spread, because whenever I see the High Priestess, she is very, very sensitive to external stimulus, energy from the outside. So whether you're picking up on the energy of those you're connected to, or the people around you, or even places you're at, when I see her showing up in the shadows, it's like, okay, Taurus, you might want to protect your energy, whether it's like blocking it, crystals, grounding, whatever, you praying, meditating. When I see this, it's like you need to practice some energetic hygiene, if that makes sense. And again, I'm not coming at anybody sideways, but the High Priestess is a wide open type of energy, very, very sensitive. So just know, when we had a spread like we just had with all those wild energies, a lot of it could be from the stimulus that you're receiving, especially if you're a sensitive person. But we're just going to leave it at that. Taurus, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The June calendar is open, so you can go check for availability. But for the June subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks ever, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments if you could manifest something right now instantly, what would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.